Okay, good morning everyone. Today at Response Network, we are back again with another staff member for our YouTube series, and I will let her introduce herself to you.
Hello everyone, my name is Freya Chabauni, and I'm in charge of the sponsorship program and administration.
Okay, welcome to our YouTube series. So basically this is just for people who don't really know Response Network and don't enjoy reading so that they can hear firsthand from the people on the ground what happens at Response Network.
Okay.
So you mentioned the sponsorship program. When did this program start, and is it funded by anyone?
Okay, thank you very much, Kaz. The sponsorship program started in 2010. And maybe I should mention that we have two types of sponsorship.
Okay.
We have what we call individual donors. These are donors from Norway. Some are from Sweden, and they have adopted children here in Zambia whom they are sponsoring as individuals. So this type of sponsorship started in 2007, and it has continued up to now. We have about 28 sponsors in this one. Then we have the bigger sponsorship program which started in 2010. And this one is, the main donor is Academic Work from Sweden. When the program started in 2010, we started with about 200 girls. Then the numbers continued increasing up to the time we had about 1,000. But now we have tried to maintain the figures, and we are doing 50 children per grade. So we have 600 children who are sponsored by Academic Work of Sweden. Then we also have some donors who have come on board, and one of them is NIF. This is Norwegian Olympics Committee from Norway. And they are also supporting about 50 girls. Okay. So the bigger one started in 2010, the individual donor started in 2007.
All right. I'm sure people have probably seen from our postings on social media when we mention Academic Work of Sweden. We usually mention that the money doesn't necessarily come from the company per se, but from the staff. Can you explain a bit about that?
Yes, Kaz. The money for the sponsorship program comes from members of staff. And by the way, we call this sponsorship as Kubala Girls. Kubala means reading. It's a Tonga name which means reading. And the money that is used for these sponsorships comes from members of staff. The members of staff have committed a 1% from their salary towards the sponsorship program of the Kubala Girls. So yes, it's not coming from the organization as Academic Work, but from members of staff of Academic Work through their 1% movement.
That's so generous of them, actually.
Yes.
It's rare to find people with such philanthropic taste these days.
You are right, Kaz. Actually, we even motivate the girls. We say there's one person in Sweden who has committed their salary towards your education. So can you please pull up your socks as you do your education? So
I hope they take it seriously.
We hope so. Of course, some are doing it because we can see it from their results.
Yes. So you work with a lot of aspects in the sponsorship program, as you mentioned. Is there any one aspect that you enjoy the most?
Maybe before I answer that, Kaz, I forgot that we also have sponsorship for tertiary. When our children complete grade 12, what next? So Academic Work was kind enough to give us money for skills training. We have others that do not make it to college, and they've been given an opportunity to do skills training. We have skills training at Libuyu Skills Center, and we have another program for skills training at Zimba for the volunteers, the former volunteers we work with in the village. I'm sure Florence tackled that. And yes, and then we also have tertiary. We have children who are doing nursing, we have children who are doing teaching, biomedicine, physiotherapy, radiography, a lot of various courses in tertiary. Yes, so now coming to your question, I think the most interesting part in my work as a sponsorship officer comes in when the time we recruit grade ones every year. And I feel very happy when I see parents coming with their small ones looking for sponsorship. And then because that sponsorship for grade one is guaranteed every year.
Okay.
And I'm always happy to be able to put a smile on this small child with their parent for them to start their first step in education. That is the most important thing for me, and it's the most interesting part of my work in the sponsorship program, Kaz.
Ironically, that's also my favorite part.
Oh, okay.
Especially on school requirements, collection time. They seem so excited.
Very excited.
To get a new bag.
Yes, a new bag, books, a pen. Then you send them off to Bata. They are given shoes, you know. I always feel good.
They're so adorable. The grade ones are definitely my favorite.
Yes.
Okay, we're currently in the middle of a pandemic, as everyone knows, and everyone has been hit in one way or another. In which ways have you seen the sponsorship program being affected by COVID?
Everyone has been affected, yes. And in the sponsorship program, the impact was seen last year because the schools were closed the first part of 2020. And we were lucky, the grade 9s and 12s were still going to school. And but for the others, the other grades, they were at home. And when the classes resumed, there was a drop. The performance was bad because they had missed part of their most part of their education. So I think that is where I could see that the pandemic had really seriously hit us. The results were not good for the other grades. But for the grade 9 and grade 7, 9 and 12, that was okay. Because now, Kaz, we are celebrating our girls. Most of our grade 12 girls did very well. Yes, we have children, girls with 6 points, 7 points, 9 points, yes. But for the other ones, most of them, it was fail. And we understand it's because they were home most of the time. And then we also registered a slightly high number of pregnancies. All that is because of COVID. The COVID, yes. Children were at home, they had nothing to do. Yeah.
Right. Hopefully now that things are normalizing and stabilizing, #new normal and all that, things will get better on the grades front for our girls.
We hope so. We are looking forward to the results when they write their end of term exams this month.
To wrap up, do you have anything, if there's one thing that anyone can take away from Response Network or the sponsorship program, what's that one thing that you'd want to share with our viewers?
Our viewers, the sponsorship program is there to help the vulnerable child. It can be double orphan, single orphan, or just vulnerable. Both parents are there, so they may be in need of sponsorship. So we are there to help everyone who needs the support when the money is available.
All right. Well, thank you, Andrea, for this interview. I'm sure people have learned one or two things from this. If anyone wants to know any more about the sponsorship program, they can of course visit our website, responsenetwork.org, or you can even contact Freya herself at mail@responsenetwork.org. She's here to answer all your queries.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.